out though. I would say, you know what? You could have flipped that shit though and say, "Hey, they call me head with the ladies." You know what I mean? You could have flipped it that
Yeah, no, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it because I know what it meant. I can't flip it when I know. I know what the fuck it means. Shoot. I was a little bitty big head motherfucker. That's what that means.
But you could have flipped it, man. You girls say, "Hey, what's your name?" They call me head. They're like, "Really?"
Hey, oh really? Yeah.
So yeah, let me go ahead and hit them up with this intro. So here we go.
What's up, young scholars? This the Dad Cypher.
So what up, young scholars? This your boy, the extra large professor, and sitting to my left is my cousin Gary Adolph. Now, this dude right here is like I say, like when I say A1 from day one, this is definitely that dude. I would say before the extra large professor was who he is now. You see me with the little cuts and stuff in the beard or whatever. If not, I'll take a picture or whatever. But you see with the little cuts. Before I was on that shit, I was into Young MC, some Fresh Prince shit, that sort of thing. And I was like, hip hop. This dude right here introduced me to Q, NWA, blew my mind, man. I was like, what the hell is this shit? And he changed my career, man. He is young. He's a young man who has came through the mud and through the dirt. We both grew up inner city. But I would say, definitely if it was not for him introducing me to hip hop, if it was not for him, letting me get into the culture, because this man not only, introduced me to hip rap, but he was a break dancer, a lot of different things that involved with the culture. So, I got to give it up to my cuz. Well, no longer little anymore, but Big Gary Adolph.
Okay.
What's up, man?
Okay.
So this segment of the Dad Cypher is something new. It's going to be called the Fatherhood Chop Up, and it's basically like we just chopping it up, man. Just trying to talk about, this is what you will hear from the OGs in the barbershop. So y'all getting this game for free without a line. And so here we go. So
Right.
that being said, I'm
Good
gonna
way to
just
put
go
it.
right on into it and just say, um, what would you say your father experience was like? What was it? What would you describe like your relationship with your father, and what was and that sort of thing? Let's start there.
I mean, as you know very well, I really didn't have a relationship with my father. I would see him from time to time, whenever he wanted to come over to Granny house and, what I'm saying, and sleep for a few days or whatnot, when I was there, when I would be at Granny's house. But I didn't have a relationship with him. I knew nothing about him and he knew nothing about me, you know. So I didn't have a relationship with him. And, I wanted one, I wanted a father, or, what I could, it's kind of sad to say, I wanted a father figure, but not him.
Yeah, and you know what's so bad about that, man? People, and some fathers out there think like I spend a lot of time with my kids if those kids go over to their mama house. And I think that's what, like your pops was like, hey, I'm taking care of and spending time with my kids because see, they coming over my mom house. But
You're
it
not
wasn't
spending no time with us. He wasn't spending no
right,
time with us. We was spending the
right,
time with Granny. We was spending time with you, Auntie
right,
Boosie. You know, we wasn't spending time with him. You know what I'm saying?
right.
No.
And that's one thing that I want to say to all those dads out there, man. That shit ain't cool to just be like, hey, I'm spending time with my kids because they at my mama house. No, nigga, you got to put in
What
that work. You have
what
to put in that
what your
time.
mama do don't count.
Right. You
as you know what I'm saying, you can't carry that over as for what you're doing, or use that to make up for the things that you don't do because you didn't do it. You
right,
know, of course, as far as you say, because I can only speak on myself and well, you as well, because you know what I'm saying, we
right,
grew up together. You
right,
know, of course, grandma and grandpa, you know what I'm saying, did everything for us.
right.
But he can't, you know what I'm saying, he can't use that and say, yo, well, my mom and my pops did. Nah, fuck that, bro. What did you do? You know,
Yeah, you know
never
it
pitched or kicked at a ball. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So that brings me on to my next thing, man. So when you start thinking about your fathered experience, how do you think that shit? How do you think that fathered experience shape who you are as a father today? You
Man,
know
you
how?
know what? What that did was it showed me what I didn't want to be. It showed me he showed me what I didn't want to be, and showed me what not to do. So instead of him showing me how to be a father, he showed me how not to be a father. So I didn't want that. I didn't want a child to think of me the way that I think of him. You know what I'm saying? Or the way you know what I'm saying? I didn't want no child to grow up thinking of me the way that I think of him, because my dad was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I tell him that. You know what I'm saying? He's a piece of shit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And he's still not that great. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, he definitely showed me what not to be.
man. So just for the viewers, like how many kids do you have, and like what's their ages and that sort of thing?
I got a gang. You know what I'm saying? I got a gang. I followed my father's footsteps in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Dude got a bunch of kids. Well, my kids aged from 25 to 1.
To
My oldest is
one.
25. Then I have a 19-year-old. Then I have a 16-year-old. Then I have a 13-year-old. Yeah. Then I have an 11-year-old.
Oh my God.
Then
And
I
then
have a 4-year-old. And then I have a 1-year-old. Gang.
no.
and
So
and the sad thing about it, hold on. Let me speak on that a little bit. The
okay.
sad thing about that situation is, it really sucks because I don't know if you were gonna get off into this later, so maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit,
No.
but um, it sucks, having kids by different women, and I feel and I strongly feel this. No matter what you do, you can never be a complete father if you're not in the household. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. That you know
And
what?
it sucks. You know what I'm saying? You can do the best that you can, but you can never be a complete father if you're not in the house with those kids. If you're not in the home with those kids, you're not a complete father.
What
You know what I'm saying?
what do you think is the thing that blocks it off? Because see, with my kids, they're all still by my ex-wife. All four of my kids
Hmm.
come from like one woman, so I knew like my father. He had tons of kids.
Hmm.
From an assortment of different
Yeah,
women and that sort of.
yeah.
But what is it? What do you think is the biggest obstacle? Like when you have kids by multiple women, what prevents you from like being that complete dad?
First off, you know what I'm saying? Being young and just fucking just to be fucking. You know what I'm saying? To put it bluntly. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Looking for marriage. You know what I'm saying? Or in those situations. Saying looking for a forever partner or nothing. I was just fucking. You know what I'm saying? And boom, there go kids. And it's sad, but you know what I'm saying? It's the truth. You know. So yeah, I just was saying it was never in my mind it was never that, and it would never be that. You know what I'm saying?
So when you first found out, like with the 25-year-old, when you first found out, like, damn, this is
Mhm.
gonna be my first child, what was going through your mind? Because I'm gonna say for me, it was like a scary situation because I'm like, what do I do? Will I be that? Will I be able to? Be that. I mean, I just knew I didn't want to abandon my child like my dad. But what was going through your mind when you receive that phone call that says you're about to be a dad?
Okay, first off, I was 15, so I was a kid myself. I was a kid myself, so it was definitely fear, definitely. Oh my God, scared to death because I'm like, yo, I don't even really take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right,
Mom Duke's still buying me stuff. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest with you, as far as she's concerned, having have when she was born, it kind of grew me up a little bit in the sense of I knew that I had to get some money. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It made me know I had to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Being broke wasn't an option. You know what I'm saying? Gotta provide. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, at that time, I thought that as long as you buying stuff, you're being a good father. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take into consideration the time aspect of parenting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I figured, as long as I kept my baby with, you know what I'm saying, the new Jordans and, you know what I'm saying, little nice outfits and stuff, I
Hmm.
was being a good dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting
Right.
maybe one weekend a month. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that that's being a good dad. Man, was I so wrong? Cause she don't remember none of them Jordans. She don't remember none of them Jordans, but she do
Right.
remember them times that I wasn't there. So
Wow. But you were saying that you became a dad at 15, and I remember that those moments and that sort of thing too, like with finding your way as a dad. But I noticed, man, I seen growth in you as a dad, you know, like with the little ones now with
mm,
Brooklyn and that sort of thing. So like what would you say that you have learned that's helping you to be a better father now?
man, trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Trial and error, man. And then another thing, my last two kids are by my wife.
Mm,
They're by my wife. So I'm in the home with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm around. You know what I'm saying? Not only am I buying things, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm chastising, I'm teaching. You know what I'm saying? All the things that a father should do. You know what I'm saying? So with them, it's definitely different in that aspect. Just on the sense that I'm here.
wow, man.
You know what I'm saying? Just being there makes a hell of a difference. Being a active and present parent.
You know what, and I'm glad you brought that up, man. One of the biggest things that I think black males get criticized the most about. They always say, "Well, we have like a bunch of kids in unwed relationships and that sort of thing." Do you think being married makes a difference in the way that you raise a child? Do you think that it's a major difference in who you are as a father, or do you feel it's a
It's a major difference as to who you are as a person in general. If you take your marriage seriously,
right?
you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying. But if you bullshitting and lollygagging with it, it's just a piece of paper. Just you know what I'm saying. Just a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying. But if you take, you know what I'm saying, if you take your vows seriously, you know, of course it's gonna change you in all aspects because you don't look at things the same. It's not all about you anymore. You know what I'm saying? You doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, as a family unit. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know what I'm saying? makes a big difference, you know what I'm saying, in your whole train of thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. You know what? And I would say my situation was totally, my kids came out of just my marriage and that sort of thing. But I will say this, man, what you're saying about being out the home greatly changed it because although I was a wed father when I had all my children, man, that divorce changed everything. Man,
Everything.
it's like, dude, it's like all of a sudden I'm used to waking up, seeing my kids and, the cereal and the craziness, once a week. Like, damn, what
Man.
are they
And and,
doing?
and, and
You
and
know?
then not only that, the fact that the kids may resent you a little bit,
Yeah,
feel abandoned or whatnot, you know, because a lot of times, and it's sad, but a lot of times, that other parent tends to talk down on the parent to the children, and the children take that stuff in, and after so long, they begin to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like with one of my children, um, I got separated from her at maybe 3 years old, and we were just now starting to rebuild our relationship. And when we first started rebuilding our relationship, she was like, "Whoa, you know what I'm saying? You abandoned me." And I was just like, "Wow, you really think that?" You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But the whole time, it was never me. It was her mom that kept her away from me. You know,
real
and
family.
after her talking to after her talking to my family, and getting to know the real situation behind the thing, she realized, like, wow, I didn't have a deadbeat dad. I had a bitter mom.
You know what? And a lot of people don't understand that. Like some people may turn around and say, well, that's an excuse what you do to fight. And I'll say this. I have fought and me and my ex-wife, we had, a lot of custody battles and that sort of thing. Although I would say through the courts, I was fortunate enough every other day, I mean, every other week to see my kids. But nonetheless, man, it's a lot of my friends that have experienced like, hey, I get there and the mom say you can't pick them up this week, or it's like that what they call it maternal gatekeeping, like the mother like close
Man,
the gate on the father, so
man,
that sort of thing. And people, a lot of people don't think that's real, but I'm trying to tell a lot
it's
of
it,
dads.
it's very real. And hold on, let me speak on this as well. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the means to pay for attorneys, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, and all that, because custody battles cost. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, everybody's not in a position to, you know what I'm saying, to, to go out and get lawyers and fight, you know what I'm saying? And when you're not able to do that, you fall subject to, you know what I'm saying, to the way that they want to do things.
Yeah, because it costs thousands of dollars. I'm on the other end of that. It costs
Yeah,
thousands of dollars. These lawyers don't come cheap, man.
yeah, I know.
And it's rough, but man, that leads me to my next question for you, man. You know, it's a lot of people that may say, well, what makes what black dads go through any different from any other dad? I want you to answer this. What do you think is the biggest challenge that black dads have to face that maybe other dads primarily don't have to face? You know.
Just that, just that, being black. You know what I'm saying? Just that in general, just being black. You know what I'm saying? We already dealt a lesser hand. We were saying, for the most part, we make less money, so we're able to do less. You know what I'm saying, as far as financially. You know what I'm saying? And things are just, we're saying, things are just always a little bit harder for us.
Yeah,
Things are. You know what I'm saying?
right. And I would say this: even if you do make means, it's still other stuff that you have to deal with. Like for instance, man. I'm paranoid when my sons go off walking somewhere to a friend's house because, man,
You gotta be, man.
you don't know
You
if they're gonna
sad,
make
but you
it back
gotta be.
home. You know, that's the biggest thing. I tell you, man, when I see like a young person, especially like the Tamir Rice and the Trayvon Martin, and I look and I got sons. My oldest son is 21. My daughter is 19. And my twin boys are 15 going on 16. So they out the cute stages. They're
Hmm.
now where they're considered you fit the description. And,
Hmm. Yes,
and that's some
most
scary
definitely,
stuff,
most definitely.
you know?
And then another thing, like Lil Jesse, a big boy.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
what I'm saying, he a
yeah.
big boy. So that's already, you know what I'm saying, a big, well, not only a big boy with dreadlocks.
Yes. Yes.
So so he already fit the description.
Yeah, and you know what? And sometimes, I want to be like, well, son, get a low haircut and all. But that shit it really doesn't make a difference. Because when we
No, it
think
really
about it,
doesn't.
when you think about it, like MLK and all of them, they had low haircuts. They were having suits, and they still
Hmm.
ended up assassinated. My man
Hmm.
George Floyd just was an average everyday brother like our age. He didn't have
Hmm.
dreads and that sort of thing. He still, I mean, and the man is crying for his mom. He still, died. So, I would say that stereotype that we deal with, like, I would probably say the thing that I hate most is like they say, we deadbeats and we don't want to be there. And I'm like, that is not the story with us. I was
It's
like,
not the
it's so
story.
many of us that are there, but we go through so much hell sometimes to be there. It is
Man,
tough.
you know what? And you know, I'm somewhat dealing with this situation right now with one of my children as to where so whereas the only time that I'm able to get her is if I'm going to do some exclusive shit or taking her shopping or you know, it's never, you know what I'm saying, okay, she's just gonna come over to my house and chill with me, and you know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm not gonna jump through loops and all this, you know what I'm saying, to
Right.
appease you. Cause it's not to appease the child, it's to appease you, the mother, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go through all that. You know, so I mean, it's a whole lot of different aspects of things that you know what I'm saying that make, you know what I'm saying, our situations a little rougher. You know what I'm saying, and even the fact that, you know, our women have gotten that independent lady, I
Right,
don't
right,
need a man,
right, right.
type of mindset. You know, I got this. You know what I'm saying.
Now,
You
do you
know,
do you think that's greater for us because of like what some women see like in hip hop culture? Like I'm that independent woman, I'm that boss bee, and all of that kind of stuff. Do you think that's where it comes from, or where you think that whole I have to be independent to the point that my independence mean that the dad shouldn't be involved at all? Where you think all of that comes from, man? Is it hip hop or what is it?
man, it's the whole culture, man. It's, you know what I'm saying. It's definitely, you know what I'm saying. It's definitely the whole. It's definitely the culture and upbringing, man. You know, because just like we didn't grow up with fathers, a lot of these young ladies didn't either.
Yeah.
You know, so from in their defense, you know, shit, they saw their mothers, you know what I'm saying, do it on their own. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like we saw our moms do
Hmm.
it by herself. You know, so it's, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely in the way you raise. You know, it comes, things hit different. You know what I'm saying, with the way you're brought up. You know,
But you know
because if
what?
you
But you know what? The thing that gets me about that though, like by us not having our dads there, it pushed me to say I'm going to be there. But I never imagined that my being there sometimes it would be a lot of turbulence to just be there. I thought that because you know what, when growing up in the 80s and stuff like that, we saw like Cosby Show. And we just saw
Mm-hmm.
like that dad being there, or we'll see James from Good Times, and then that dad being there. I never saw Florida give like James a hard time, and I never saw like Claire give Bill like Cliff a hard time. And I tell you, man, it blows you away when you realize, like, dang, I got to go through all of this just to be a
Just to see
dad.
my child, just to be a dad. Yeah,
You know what? I'll
yeah.
never forget the one song you put me on to. And I tell you, it's one of the songs that I would probably say the realest thing for dads,
I already
especially
know.
from an
Don
innocent
Trip. Don
Don
Trip.
Trip, Letter to My Son.
Letter
When
to
you
my
put
son.
me on to that, I was like, oh, I get this. I was like, because when you inner city and you going and you trying, and the thing that I loved about that Don Trip song, he was talking about the streets and talking about going to school. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you going to school, even if you out there making dirty dollars, you going through all of this stuff, and why isn't it easier? And that's the biggest, challenge, that sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget you putting me on to that one, man. And I would say, man, it's, I guess before we get into some fun stuff and that sort of thing, I just I want to just get, what advice would you give to a young 15-year-old that was like yourself that is becoming a father? What would you say that the thing that they need to know now that's going to help them, to be prepared for
Don't do it. No, no, but for real, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You're still a child yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're still learning yourself. You're not in a position to be a father. You know what I'm saying? So to that effect, man. To be honest with you, and it's crazy that I would even say this from my upbringing. Dude, don't even have sex.
You're right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That is, man, you got all your life for that, man. It's so much other stuff that you can be focused on. You know what I'm saying? Women gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? All that's gonna be there. Man, focus on your education. Focus on building your brain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Focus on that. Because you know what I'm saying? All that other crap is gonna be there, man. You gonna have plenty of time for that. You know, build yourself so you can be a better person. So therefore, when you do have children, you can be an effective, complete father, and not just
Right.
someone that's just buying stuff or someone that's only just there because he doesn't have money to do things. Because it takes a balance of the two. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It takes a balance of the two. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? You gonna need some money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's good. You know what I'm saying? That you can just be, you know what I'm saying, to just be a father, but kids cost.
Costs a hell of a lot.
Yeah, kids cost. You know what I'm
And
saying?
not
You
only
know,
finances, not
and,
only
and,
finances. You see this? I used to have hair. It costs, man.
Cause I didn't get the ball thing, but man, I got so much gray that it don't make no sense, man. I got so much gray, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just man, just don't do it, man. It's not it's 15 ain't the time to be having no kids, man. I know they got the 16 and pregnant shit going on and all that, and they
Right,
make it cool to be having kids young, man. But ain't shit cool about that, man. Ain't nothing
right.
cool about being in high school and you know what I'm saying, and having to rush home to a kid or having to drop out
Mhm.
because you got a kid.
Yeah,
You know,
true. So,
get
man,
your edge.
I'm about to go into some speed round stuff. I want to get into some fun stuff, man.
Okay, let's
So,
get it.
man,
Let's
here
hear
we
it.
go. Here we go. And just tell me just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. First question: Tupac or Biggie?
Pop.
Okay. Jordans or LeBrons?
Jordan's definitely.
Okay. All right. What was the shoe to rock? What was your shoe game back when you were 15?
Pretty versatile because Nike had so much stuff going on, man. But pretty much whatever sports player was, you know what I'm saying, was out at the time, you know what I'm saying? So it might have been Deion Sanders, Junior Seau, you know what I'm saying, Jordans, you know what I'm saying, Barclays, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's crazy because they bringing all of those shoes back now.
Right. All right. Better coast for a better coast for hip hop. The
East
South,
Coast.
huh?
East Coast.
East Coast, okay.
East
All right.
Coast.
All right.
Definitely. Bars. I'm about bars.
All right. Best rapper of all time.
Best rapper of all. Ooh, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one all time. Lyrically, I would say Nas, man.
Okay. All right.
I
What
would say Nas.
what new school rapper are you feeling?
New guys, ooh. See, I don't consider like J. Cole and Kendrick and them, I don't consider them new. So I would say out of new guys, it's this cat named damn, what's dude's name? I've been listening to Trapper Man Deal.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Cool.
Bars. Dude got bars. He talking that dope boy shit, but I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, since we are all right, y'all Dan Cypher, I know I live in Georgia now, but you're talking to some St. Louis boy, so some of y'all may not get some of these things. But hey, I'm gonna just break this down for the St. Louis people out there. Which represents St. Louis food better? White Castles or Chinese food?
Chinese food definitely because I've been a lot of places, and nobody has Chinese food like St. Louis, man. It's trash everywhere else. It's trash.
All right, what's your favorite St. Paul?
Special, no bean sprouts.
For those, this is only for the St. Louis crowds only. Best soda.
Best soda, man. I'm going pineapple, man.
Oh man, to me, fruit punch, man.
I'm going pineapple, man. I'm going see because that pineapple hit different with that Chinaman rice, man. It hit different with that Chinaman rice, man. Yeah,
I really, this is for the St. Louis all. Which is the better side? North side, east side, west side? Which is the
West
better?
Side, the best side, baby. West Side, the best side.
Alright, alright. It's one more that I want to get with St. Louis. Oh, yeah, this will be the last one on the speed round. Chingy or Nelly? Which one?
Come on, man, Nelly, dude.
I
Seriously,
mean, you
look
know,
how look Howard came mess with Nelly, man. Look Chingaling, man.
So man, how I like to end the show, man, is talking about what's in our father playlist. And when I say fatherhood playlist, it doesn't mean that it has to be a song about fatherhood, but what are you listening to as a dad that's in your rotation in terms of like music? Because you know it's about hip hop and fatherhood. So what hip hop songs or R&B songs are you listening to?
Man, my playlist is so versatile, man. I got like probably about 2,000 songs on my playlist. Just on, you know what I'm saying? I got that Pandora Plus joint. You know what I'm saying? So man, I got so much on my playlist, but man, as far as fatherly songs, man, I got to say that Nas Daughters, man. That Nas Daughters is definitely, you know what I'm saying, a go to, you know.
Mhm.
And I I listen to a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Anita Baker, you know what I'm saying, and St. Louis Own's Angela Wimbush, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
You know,
right,
I was
right.
saying that, you know what I'm saying? I found myself, you know what I'm saying, gravitating more to the stuff that I grew up on, listening to, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, listening to while my mom would be cleaning up and stuff, the stuff that she would be playing. You know, listening to what's her name? They used to be with Dr. Michelle A.
Right.
You know
You
what
know
I'm saying?
what? I'm
Michelle
gonna
A.
tell
stuff
you, a
like that.
lot of people don't realize that Saturday, like I don't know if this is just a St. Louis thing or what, but that Saturday, your mom always throwing on the old school, and
And cleaning up.
I would probably say for my mom, it was always like blues. So she was listening to these last $2 I'm
Last
not
two
gonna
dollars. You
lose.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would listen to those joints. And I remember her listening to Anita Baker. Her favorite joint on there was Giving You the Best That I Got. That was one of
Mm-hmm.
her favorite joints and
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you would say Nas' daughters on your hip hop father thing. I would probably say
God's
for me,
daughters.
I'll probably say for me, when I think of a fatherhood song, yeah, I love Nas' daughters. Especially helped me think about my daughter and the ups and downs
Mm-hmm.
we've had. But I would say, really, I would probably say "Letter to My Son" still hits for me, man.
Definitely that because that in so many ways that song is my situation. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways. So that's definitely saying up there, you know what I'm saying? Because that's I live that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I live those words of that song. But I also want to say verse two of Jay-Z Soon You'll Understand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. It's you know what I'm saying, he's speaking on, you know what I'm saying, on that verse, he's speaking on, you know, having a child by a woman that's not his woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And how that, you know what I'm saying, and how that affects the child, you know what I'm saying? And you
What's
know
the
what I'm
name
saying?
of that
And
joint? What's the name of the song again?
soon you'll understand.
Soon you'll understand. I definitely have
It's
to
on
put
it's
that
on the
on the list.
Dynasty album. It's on the Dynasty album. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, the whole song is a damn good song. But the songs that made me think of, you know what I'm saying, how where not to be, you know what I'm saying, as a father, and made me think of my fatherhood growing up would definitely be Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel. Um, uh, uh, um,
Where have you been?
where have you been?
Oh yeah. You know what? I would say the one song that really makes me think of my father on mine is probably the second verse of Tupac's "Dear Mama."
Mm-hmm.
When he was talking about, they say I'm young and I'm heartless, but all the time I was looking for a dad and he was gone. That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yeah,
lines stick out to me the most. But
yeah.
man, I just want to say, like I said, this has been the chop up, y'all, with my boy, my cousin, my real life blood cousin from St. Louis West Side, Gary GBoi Adolph. Look him up. Hey, tell the people where they can find you, man, because you got your YouTube group. I mean, your Facebook group. Tell them where they can find you and that sort of thing if they want to holler at
I mean, just look me up on the book, GBoi Adolf, GBoi boy. You
you.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Adolf. You know what I'm saying? Just look me up on there. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. I like to laugh a lot and joke a lot. Don't take me seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't my real. It ain't my real life. You know what I'm saying? It
Hey,
ain't my real life. I got shit to do.
hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing, y'all. If you go to his group, that it's like love and relationships and that sort of thing,
Hmm.
you're gonna hear some wild stuff. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
be some dad cipher stuff. It's gonna be some wild stuff.
Oh
But it's
yeah.
always gonna be some truth in it, and it's gonna be some funny. So,
Yeah. We
I
try to
just
keep
want to
it that.
say thank you so much, cuz not only for doing this show, but I just want to say thank you as because of you, it helped me to go into my career as a professor, and it helped me to grow and see the world in a much better place, man. I just thank you for blessing me by introducing me to this hip hop culture, man. It's, I would say a great part of my career, is because, of the way you schooled me and, nurtured me along. And you're my younger cousin, and that's the thing. But I appreciate you always, putting me on to what was real, man. And just one love to definitely appreciate.
But just let me say this real fast, Jesse, man. I am so proud of you because you know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you, you know what I'm saying? The things that you're doing, man, you know what I'm saying? Just the man that you are, you know what I'm saying? You always been a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Many people don't make it off of Plymouth and Hamilton to where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? Many
Oh
people don't
yeah.
make it from out that horseshoe apartment building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
buddy.
saying? To where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? So man, I salute you, man. You know what I'm saying? The man that you are, you know what I'm saying? Because shit, it could have turned out different for you, man. It could have
Man.
turned out different for you. But you know what I'm saying? You chose to take your own route and you didn't just go and try to be like everybody else. You've always been your own man and did your own thing, man. I salute that. Even sometimes when I even thought, man, my big cousin lame as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Because I was dumb and wanted to be a drug dealer and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking you was lame because you was on some school shit. When on the real, in hindsight, I was the one that was lame. You know what I'm
But you know
saying?
what, man? Like I said, but I would say, man, or it's funny, our life journeys still connect because the things that you, like I said, from what you were learning and what you were living, it's still. I talk to brothers, like yourself, man, and that kind of went that path, but seeing you like with your daughter and seeing the change, it lets me know that as long as a dad have breath in his lungs, he can change his story. And you
No
have
doubt.
changed your story
No doubt.
tremendously, man. So,
No
and
doubt.
I appreciate you, dropping some jewels for the youngins coming up because they need to know, man, that it like even if you have fell in the mud a little bit or fell in the dirt a little bit, that you can get up and you can do something better. So
Right.
appreciate it.
Dust your shoulders off, man. Dust your shoulders off.
Yep. Hey
People
man,
need it.
but man, I just want to say, man, I'm stop recording on here now, so because